Thanks to the coronavirus, you don't need a crystal ball to tell you that until a vaccine is found, a lot of us will most likely have some kind of test in our future to make sure we're keeping those around us safe. And the tests themselves, well, they seem more than a little confusing. Which test to take? So come with me, let's get virtual and find out.
There are actually 3 different types of tests: genetic, antigen, and antibody. To keep it simple, let's think about these tests in terms of when they're used. If you want to know if you have the virus now because you think you have symptoms, you take the genetic and antigen tests. If you think you've had the virus in the past, then you take the antibody test. Let's look a little closer. If you think you have coronavirus symptoms right now, then you take the genetic test, sometimes called PCR, which is a molecular swab down the back of your nose test to see if any of the virus's genetic material is present in you now. Nice, because the virus's genetic sequence, its special code, is widely known. If it's there, doctors can match it and recognize it and tell you so that you can take action right away. This test can take hours or sometimes a day or so. It's not fast, but it's fairly accurate. Another test to tell if you have an active infection right now is the antigen test, which isn't at the moment readily available. It too is a swab down the nose test, but this time it's looking for the presence of specific proteins on the virus's surface, which are easier to spot. So it's cheaper and faster, like a test for strep throat at the doctor's office, and could be something used quickly at home or at work. But at the moment, it's not so accurate and could give you a false impression that you're virus-free to go back to work, when in fact, you're not. So for obvious reasons, there's still a lot of work to be done here. So those are the swab tests if you think you have the virus now. If you think you've had the coronavirus in the past, then you take the antibody or serology test, because your immune system will have created antibodies to fight off the virus. It's a useful test to determine if you've had it, because some people don't have any symptoms at all. They're asymptomatic. And it can also help tell us how many people have had the virus and if we're winning the battle against it. Also, if you have had it, you might have immunity from getting it again, although there are no promises. And you can also donate your blood plasma to help others fight off full-blown COVID-19. The problem with this test is that a specific set of antibodies can turn up 2 weeks after infection, which means if you test for antibodies at the wrong time, it might seem that you haven't been infected at all, when in fact you have. And some people might not even develop antibodies at all, so this test is a little less of a sure thing. In fact, none of these tests are 100% accurate because this is a new virus, and creating accurate tests will take time. Rushing at it leaves us open to making mistakes or creating ineffective tests and vaccines. So we need to allow our scientists time to learn all they can about this tricky and mischievous virus so that one day, like smallpox, COVID-19 will be a thing of the past.